And now...
Ooh, hold on, wait. Let's do Terror Tram first.
That's what I was going to get to.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I want to start this one off.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so Terror Tram. Let's talk about the biggest waste of my time of the night. This was a huge waste. Oh, my God.
Of everyone's time.
Of everyone's time. The wait time was 15 minutes.
It wasn't even 15.
It wasn't even 15 minutes.
Pretty much walk on.
Pretty much.
We just had to wait for the next.
The
tram
wait
to
for the
pull up.
tram back was 15 minutes.
That was a waste.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That
what the
was-
waste. That's what the wait was for.
That was the first time we've ever had to wait for a tram
It's true.
coming
But
back. That was kind of weird.
it was a horrible waste of time. The premise I actually thought was better than most.
It had a story.
It
for
had a
once.
story. It did. It did. It had a
it's
story where you were.
a bit.
So the story of the Purge. Well, because usually the Terror Tram is the staple or like the big selling point of horror nights, which it wasn't this year. So it's kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
they've kind of been phasing that out.
Yeah,
the
but
same
still, I mean,
layout.
I still liked the whole like you got like go to the Terror Tram because it's like it's the selling point, you know. Whatever, Tony. This is what I like. I'm
Originally, it was a selling point. It's kind of been phased out. Now
Well-
it's just kind of like tacked on.
but still, whatever.
Anyways, continue.
Anyways, I liked it when it would be the selling point because then you have an actual story to go into it. But the premise that they're trying to go with is that it's a Purge night and you're invited to the Purge party. So it's like they're inviting you to some safe zone celebration. The rich people are like they're not immune, but they're safe. Like they're
Protected.
immune. Like it's like an immunity. Like they're not affected. They can't be killed.
Well, they can. They're just paying for you. They're pretty much paying for the Universal or whoever's throwing this Purge party to bring you in, and they're all working together to pretty much kill the guests.
Well,
that bring you.
but the premise of like getting on the tram.
Yeah, that's
is, the premise of the tram is to get you to go to this party where it's supposedly safe on this Purge night. So they want they're like let's bring all these guests to this Purge party so everyone's safe. But spoiler alert, obviously, once you get on the tram, they say, "Ha ha, we got you. We actually brought you over here because you guys are scum and we want to kill you all," which I thought was a pretty good premise. But like as one of the guests walking around by us said, I walked up that I should have just stayed on the tram because I walked up the damn hill to be here for 5 minutes. It was terrible.
Yeah.
The little walkway maze was horrible. There wasn't as much to see. It was a lot shorter than previous years. It was just not worth it at all. The most passable thing today, I would say. Let's go with Tony.
All right.
Since Tony has time to interrupt me.
I do. All right. So this Terror Tram, not a maze. It's if you've been on Terror Tram before, you know what to expect. It's the same exact thing, the same layout as it was last year. I wouldn't say it was shorter than before. There weren't as many people going through, and we pretty much walked through it in 5-10 minutes maybe because it was not crowded. It only got crowded at 2 points because of the way it's like you have to walk into these buildings and it creates a choke point. So that's why it got crowded up there. But once you get through those like little tiny houses, it's open again. And then again at the end, we had to wait for the tram to come back. I guess I don't know, maybe they're using less trams this year or something. But yeah, nothing really new to it. They didn't add anything really, just characters from the Purge with with the masks from the movie. And yeah, it's the same as it was, same layout as it's been for the past couple years, just with people purging instead of zombies like last year. Oh, and one thing that I really didn't like was towards the end there's this room you go into and it's this guy on like a Gatling gun that he's like shooting at you, and I thought that effect it would have been cool if they would have added some kind of effect of like bullets firing or something, like a sound effect. But there was nothing, so it's just like some guy shooting white light at you as you walk by, and
So lazy.
it just felt like unnecessary. I mean, it came from the second Purge movie, so like I understand why it was there, but at least add some kind of gun firing sound effect to a Gatling gun. Other than that, it was a waste of time, really. Well, it was a 5-minute wait, so
still a waste
whatever.
of time.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Terror Tram's pretty much just something like it's a traditional thing you do every year, almost like House of Horrors was. You just go because it's there.
I would have rather done a House of Horrors, to be honest.
Yeah, the DJ.
The DJ.
Frankenstein
yeah.
DJ.
It was the shortest wait of the night. You could probably get on it and not waste too much time. If you've never been to Horror Nights before, do it, but otherwise, it's totally skippable. Mark or Raymond?
Alright, well, this is my first time on the Terror Tram for the Purge. What I would describe it is like a mix between a small hike with a long scare zone, which were not even a lot of scares. All the build-ups or setups were pretty dispersed. Nothing really scared you since it's a wide open area. A few actors coming at you. I mean, it's pretty cool how they used the back lot where you can walk around it if you haven't been there. So that's a nice part. But other than that, nothing really add to it. I mean, for most of the time, I was just thinking, oh, how long this is gonna be so I can go to the next maze. Like, I hope my shoes aren't dirty because you were like on a dirt trail for the most part. It's pretty much it.
Yeah. So I just want to go into a little slight more detail about the Terror Tram. Like these guys said, I would have to reiterate the point that it wasn't the best attraction at all. The premise started off really well, but when you really got in there, it didn't have any substance. When you first start off, they usually walk you through the back lot, and you start at the Bates Motel. Normally, there's a lot of actual actors there, and you have a much better setup of the environment. This time, it seemed a lot more constricted. Like you just had the one walkway, everyone had to follow it like normal, but there weren't really many actors out. You got maybe 2 or 3, and then like another few that were hiding behind the doors and the glass, and there was nothing really there. And then a few maybe more later on that you just kind of walked by, and they just kind of like maybe slightly jumped at you a bit. And that seemed how the whole type of Terror Tram went that night. And then as Tony said, there's a lot of choke points in each little section there that it just kind of slowed the maze down and kind of killed the entire flow, especially that room with the actual Gatling gun. There's just kind of one small walkway where you have to go through, you have to walk around like a group of like corpses on the ground that the guy apparently shot, and that was really constricting too, because it was maybe like 2 or 3 people, a group that can go through at a time. And like he also said, there wasn't really any sound there. I think it kind of kicked on after we'd walked out, but it wasn't really on for long, so that the person that was actually sitting there was probably just shooting light at people for quite a while before anything actually happened. And then again, as Mark brought up the first time, there's someone who commented, said, why did I get off the tram, wait this amount of time, just to kind of take a small walk through here, not really get anything. And that was probably the biggest scare, is that there was nothing out there but just a small hike for you. Really good though if you want to sit down. Like that was probably the longest time you're ever going to sit down is on that tram. So it was a pretty nice little break, but yeah, they definitely could have amped it up a bit. That's all I really got for it.
I got 2 more things.
All right.
I'm mad that we didn't get a picture with the Psycho House. This is like the 5th year that we've done. No, this is year 9. They've done pictures at the Psycho House for about 7 or 8 years, and we still haven't gotten a picture at the Psycho House.
Yep.
I mean, if you really want a picture, you could go get a picture. We're not stopping you. You never said you wanted to get a picture.
Wait, you want a picture of just the house or all of us in front of the house? I think that's the bigger question.
I will take either.
Okay,
I'll take either.
All right, I'm good.
I don't know.
Anyways,
wait, I have one more
next year
thing.
we'll go get a picture for you.
Oh, fine, God. One more thing. They did not have enough chainsaws.
Yeah,
This was always a place to have good chainsaws.
Especially for the Purge.
Exactly, for the Purge. It was a place to have good chainsaw scares. That's the best thing about the Terror Tram, and they didn't have nearly enough. That was one of my biggest letdowns.
I think when we walked in, there was an area where they had about like 4, but normally you get like maybe 8 plus of actual people out there with chainsaws, just actors going around. And this time, a lot of them, I noticed they were shorter. They were at least my height. I'm like 5'8", 5'9", maybe that. And prior years, these guys were like 6-something.
Yeah,
so it's like towering guys just walking around with chainsaws, and it's much more intimidating when you get out there. But again, it's just the opening night, so it might change, but
that's true.
It was definitely something to look out for.